Hey guys, how you doing? It's Gavin from Start Fresh Personal Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about food cravings. And the reason for this video is because one of my clients today, I've noticed this last week or two, she hadn't been logging her workouts. She hadn't been as busy and sort of as in touch with me as she normally has been. When I emailed her again, she just said to me, look, I'm really, really sorry, but, my cravings are getting too bad. I'm stressed out. My wedding's in 2 weeks, and I feel like I'm a bit of a failure. So, I said to her, at the end of the day, as your coach, your trainer, you need to tell me these things because we can get through it together. But obviously in her mind, obviously a lot of this weight loss and fitness is a massive mental battle, which I've spoken about before. But with regards in particular to cravings, they can really, really, have a bad effect on you, okay? And what a lot of people do, they sort of feel like, they've given in to a sweet treat or something else, and then they decide to just throw the towel in and go hard out on a bit of a binge. I'm not saying that's what she's done, but that's what tends to happen with some people. So with cravings, okay, a lot of cravings, and in my experience as well, I'm a shift worker. I'm obviously, I've been overweight in the past, and whereas my eating hasn't been as great as it should be, and part of me and growing up was comfort eating, and those cravings weren't anything to do with hunger. They weren't anything to do with anything apart from being stressed out, a little bit tired maybe, or more emotional reasons for eating. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is obviously cravings. So I've got some notes here, so I'm going to refer back and forth. I'm not quite looking at you guys, but what's a craving? So you've probably got a good idea. Craving is essentially, an overwhelming urge to eat something, and usually it's something bad. Okay, we really get cravings to eat fruit. We really get cravings to eat carrots and broccoli, but cravings are usually high-fat foods, high-sugar foods, and there's even been studies done about it that when you eat something which is high fat, high carb, high sugar, it sort of increases or decreases the sort of cortisol levels in your body, the stress hormones in your body. And what that does, it gives a bit of a calming effect. So if you think like a smoker, if you've ever been a smoker, I haven't been, when you have a cigarette, you feel calm, okay? And it's those sorts of things. So it's basically on a hormonal and deeper sort of level. So when you're craving these foods, it's not always because you're hungry. Like I said, in my experience, the times I sort of get these cravings, usually on a night shift, usually at the end of a long day of an early shift maybe, or a late shift, and that's when I tend to get them. But as with anything, you need to sort of learn to understand your body. I can't sit here and tell you you're getting a craving because X, Y, Z. You need to sort of learn. I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. So, first of all, most cravings, in my experience and other people do things like they go no sugar. So they just cut out sugar, they cut out carbs. No junk June or no junk July or whatever it's called. The problem with that is that when you cut something completely out of your diet, if you're somebody that regularly eats sweet treats or regularly eats high fatty foods, if you just go cold turkey and cut those out, you're gonna have to have some really big kahunas of willpower to get through it, because ultimately you're gonna want to go back to what you did before. So what I always say to people, and this is based on a lot of personal experience and a lot of experience working with other people, is if you eat foods on a regular basis, you need to keep those foods into your diet. And you're going to say, oh yeah, no, but they're really bad. Yes, they are, possibly. I'm going to explain to you in a minute that it's not always as it seems, all right? So if you're someone that eats chocolate in the mornings or chocolate in the afternoons, then you shouldn't cut that out completely, because you're going to get those cravings, and what's going to happen is you're going to end up binging on those foods. And the analogy I like to use is that if you were to drop your mobile phone on the floor, would you then continue to stamp on it to smash it to pieces, or would you just pick it up off the floor and go, dust it off, put it back in your pocket? That's the whole thing with these cravings, okay? You want to prepare for this, all right? You want to be eating some of the foods that you normally eat, just to delay those huge cravings a little bit. So like I said, most of our cravings tend to kick in when you're stressed or hungry or anxious. It boosts the levels of serotonin, not cortisol. I do apologize, which has a counter effect. So sorry, just reading this quickly. Okay, so obviously I just covered that. So basically what they're saying is that, it's not just sugar, it's usually sugar and fat. I'm going to give you a really good example in a second of some things you can do with that. But what you need to do is be mindful, right? The biggest thing with these cravings is to be mindful. And when I say mindful, it's going to take a bit of an effort, okay? And I'm big into habit change, I'm big into changing habits and everything else, as you know if you've been watching any of my videos before. And what you need to do is start taking a little bit of action around your cravings. So first of all, if you're starting to get cravings, give in to them, all right? Just for now, give in to them. And what this is going to do is going to give you a really good insight into why you do crave these foods. So first of all, what you're going to do is you're going to keep a cravings log, all right? A cravings journal or log, wherever. You've got your phone on you probably. Open up the notepad, write in cravings log. And what you're going to do is you're going to answer yourself a couple of questions. When you get a craving, whatever it is, you're going to note down the time of day, the time of the week. If you're a female, okay, it could be time of the month. That has an effect on it as well. You're going to note down how you're feeling at that possible time, all right? And you're going to note down when you ate last and when was the last time you had something to drink. You're going to write those few things down. And what you're going to find is, I'm pretty sure you're going to find a bit of a pattern, okay? So if I was going to do it, I haven't done it, but if I was going to do it, I know myself pretty well now. It's going to be usually the day after night shift. It's going to be usually in the evening time, around about 7 or 8 o'clock. It's usually because I'm tired. Could be because I'm a little bit stressed out. My cravings are usually chocolate. And it's like I say, because I work shifts, so there's no particular time of the week, but it's usually after a night shift or a very, very late shift. So that is what it is, and I know that. I know I'm craving food that time, or those chocolate cravings that time of night, and I know it's because my body's in a bit of stress because of my, the lack of sleep links into tiredness. It could be I've just eaten, usually my dinner's been 3 hours before, so around about the 3 hour mark, you're starting to feel hungry anyway. So for me, I know exactly what it is. So how do I combat that? Well, usually I'll have a bit of chocolate because that is what I want. But what I won't do is smash the slab. I'll have, I'll account for it within my fitness pal as I do with everything. And if I've got some things left, I'll make sure that I've accounted for it in my day already, because I know that these cravings are going to come along. So in the morning and through the day, when I'm logging my food, I usually keep about 300 calories for the end of the evening, where I know I'm potentially going to get a craving. And that's the smart thing to do, because if I know in myself that if I go to cut that chocolate out for the whole week, and I really, really want it on the weekend or my days off, and I'll start to crave it, and then I'll usually go a bit crazy and have a huge block of chocolate, which isn't great for you. But the way I do it, I know that certain times, so it's going to be basically 3 or 4 times every 10 days will I get these big cravings, because that's how my shift cycle is, and I know that's coming. And on those days, I prepare for it. That's what it's all about, just preparing for it. So what I'm going to say to you now in a minute is like, you got a couple of choices, okay? You got some healthy choices and not so healthy choices, right? So let's just say you're a regular Snickers bar eater, okay? It could be anything. And you decide, that you've been, you want to cut out Snickers bars. Well, what I'm going to say to you now, I'm going to compare these two foods for you, right? And you're going to see that you don't actually need to cut these stuff out, right? So people will say, you find a better alternative. And I'm big into better alternatives as well. But sometimes, you just got to go with the flow, right? So my normal snacks are, if I want something like that, is usually going to be an apple and some peanut butter. An apple and peanut butter for me is a really, really good snack. It's quite high in calories. There's some good fats in there, there's carbohydrates in there, there's protein in there, and it really does a trick for me. So that could potentially be my afternoon snack. But I'm going to say to you, let's just say you have a Snickers in your afternoon snack and you wanted to substitute with a better meal, okay? So I'm going to go through some numbers for you. So 150 gram apple and 30 grams of peanut butter equates to a total of 287 calories, 34 grams of carbs, 15 grams of fat, 8 grams of protein and 22 grams of sugar. Now, in itself, that actually isn't too bad, okay? So if you're somebody that eats 1,600 to 2,000 calories a day, it actually isn't that bad, okay? It's only 300 calories out of your whole allowance for that day. If you're going to have a Snickers, so bearing in mind now that 150 gram apple and 30 grams of peanut butter equates to nearly 180 grams of food, okay? So it's 180 grams of food is probably a substantial amount of food. If you go for a 50 gram bar, Snickers bar, you're looking at 242 calories, 30 grams of carbs, 26 grams of fat, 12 grams of protein, and 48 grams of sugar. It isn't that far away from an apple and peanut butter. The differences is that the apple and peanut butter is a lot more volume of food than the Snickers bar, so you could potentially eat 2 Snickers bars and not really register that fullness, which means you doubled all of everything else. Okay, so with the Snickers bar, you're going to have trans fats in there, which are not good. You're not going to have much fiber in there, which isn't very good. But if you're looking at a calorie standpoint, it isn't actually that bad, okay? So, pros and cons, obviously, an apple and peanut butter is better vitamin-wise, it's better mineral-wise, it's better good fat-wise, it's better fiber-wise. But let's just say, you're desperate for that Snickers bar. That is absolutely fine. You just need to factor into your day. And the only way you're going to do that is by keeping a track of what you eat, okay? So what I'm saying is that there's nothing sexy about this, okay? You just need to incorporate these foods into your diet, and if they're your normal part of your normal day, then absolutely get in there. Of course you can set up a new habit, and if you really want to eliminate it from your diet, then you cut down. So you may have half a Snickers bar, and you have a Snickers bar 3 times a week and not 7 days a week. There's lots of ways to wean yourself off this sort of thing. But going back to the original thing was giving up because your cravings got too much and started to binge. You really need to sort of come away from the all or nothing mentality. You've got to work on these things slowly, adjust things slowly, and take things out slowly. Don't just go cold turkey for anything. It's never going to work. At the end of the day, if you're overweight, okay, and you want to lose weight and you want to get fit again, this is a long time journey. This isn't something that's going to happen in 3 months. If you give yourself 3 months and you have you falter after 3 months and give up, you're in no better place than if you were 3 months ago. You need to come up with strategies in your own mind and your own life, is to introduce small changes over time to become successful. So at the end of the day, I'm talking quite a lot now, but having a craving isn't necessarily a bad thing. You just need to understand why you've got that craving, where the craving's coming from, and look for alternatives. Or if you can't find an alternative, just have what it is that you want and have it daily. So I want to just quickly talk about if you're training. So if you're somebody who regularly goes to the gym and you get trainings for chocolate and stuff in the afternoon, if you're going to eat a bad food like a sweets or muffins or chocolate, then, and this isn't just me saying that, have that food with some protein straight after your workout. There's lots and lots of studies showing of eating a high sugar food straight after a workout is going to help replenish glycogen levels in your muscles. It's going to help you recover from your workout, and if you have that with protein as well, you're going to recover quicker. So if you're somebody that does a workout in the morning and you start to crave your Snickers in the afternoon, have your Snickers straight after your workout. It's going to be completely guilt-free. You're going to have some protein with it. If you have, say, a protein shake with your Snickers bar, that might take you up to 350 calories or so. And to be honest with you, that's not a bad little meal. That's not a bad after workout snack. And you can do it guilt-free. You can actually eat that guilt-free, because if you're restricting calories over the day, 300 to 400 calories for that one meal or one snack isn't going to damage it, okay? One food will not break your diet. Bad food, lots of bad food, lots of calories over time is going to wreck your diet. So that's a take-home from this, okay? There's nothing sexy about it. You've heard the saying, everything in moderation. This is absolutely the case. Have the foods that you think you shouldn't in moderation. Account for them within your day using MyFitnessPal or a food log, and don't beat yourself up if you have a bad day, all right? You can always start afresh tomorrow, as I talk about. Start afresh at any time of the day or night, all right? But just don't beat yourself up over it. But what's really, really critical is to understand why you're getting the cravings, when you're getting the cravings, and prepare for it. It's as simple as that. Prepare for it, and once you prepare for it, it's not difficult anymore. It becomes, it just becomes another thing that you do, and it's not going to damage it. It's not going to damage your overall lasting effects, all right, and the long term effect of your diet. So that's pretty much it for today. In a nutshell, I guess you can have your cake and you can eat it and you can still lose weight. But that's the bottom line of it. And if anyone tells you that you can't, they're talking nonsense. You can, all right? It's all about your calories in, your calories out, and making better choices, and planning and incorporating everything in your day. So I've had a bit of a ramble, actually, not what I intended to do, but I do apologise. And so yeah, like I said, you can start afresh, guys. Start afresh any time of day or night. Today, start afresh right now. Because if you don't do something today, how will tomorrow be any different? Cheers, guys.